Hello and welcome to Krackpots We Met Downstairs, brought to you by Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio, with special thanks to Funny Noises Productions in Massillon, Ohio, and shout out to Dindamo's Unique Chocolates, which can be found at Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio. I am your host, Rebecca Marcoulin, and today I am with Pam Krugman. Woo! And the crowd goes wild. Yeah. Heck yeah! Alright, Pam. So, it is Friday at Krackpots Comedy Club. You're performing tonight. You came in, and then Chris told you, talk to the podcast girl. And you said, hey, I gotta find the podcast girl. And then you found the podcast girl, and now you are upstairs right above Krackpots Comedy Club for a podcast episode. How are we feeling? Describe the vibe.
This is how we do it. I can't wait for tonight. We got a sold out crowd. I'm here with some of my buddies from the World Series of Comedy, and I'm excited.
Yeah. You should be excited. I'm also excited. It's
yes.
gonna be a great, great night. So, Pam, here at Krackpots We Met Downstairs, we understand that a lot of interviews, they tend to ask the same questions over and over again, and that can get boring and tedious to constantly answer the same thing over and over. So I am going to try to ask you, I am going to try to ask you a question that you have not been asked before.
Okay,
I want to
let's
see if
do
I
this.
can do it.
I'm excited.
Right. If you could pick one domesticated animal to revert back to its wild state, which one would you pick and why?
Whoa. I mean, I think I'm going to say the monkeys. Even though I'd love to have one my own, I think they kind of do just all belong in the wild with themselves doing their crazy monkey things.
I don't know if monkeys are domesticated, though.
Well, there's people who have one. What about Michael Jackson? He had a little monkey.
That doesn't mean they're domesticated.
I don't think they are. You're correct.
Yeah.
I'd like to have one, though.
You want to keep a monkey?
How cute are they? Funny. They're so cute. No, no red-butted ones though. I don't want the.
You don't want the red butt ones?
I don't want the baboon red butt.
No.
No.
It's interesting. I watched a documentary or like an expose on people who own the chimpanzee,
yes,
or like not a company. What is it? There was a lady who raises chimpanzees and sell them. It was weird. I don't really.
She was trying to domesticate them.
Yeah, she was trying to, but did it work though?
No, I actually had a guy sitting next to me on a plane who worked for one of the zoos.
Yeah,
and he said to me, "I'm like, what do you think about that lady?" He's like, "It's all wrong." So they do. They belong to be in the wild.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yes.
Has anybody ever asked you that question before?
No.
Yes.
No.
I did it. Heck yeah. I did it again.
And no one's said monkeys before.
No one said monkeys? No.
Just me.
Well, I was thinking it was kind of more like a cow or a dog.
Yes.
Or like a bird or something.
I know.
But you went with monkeys.
I went with monkey. Keeping it spicy.
Keeping me on my toes. That's good. I like that.
Yes.
So why don't you tell the viewers a little bit more about how you got into comedy? What's your backstory?
This is a good story.
Yeah.
My forever boyfriend, because that's what you call someone you've been with for 13 years that you're not married to. He brought me an improv class, year 7 of us dating. And I thought, where's my ring? You bought me a class? And you didn't even buy the package for yourself? Like, you're not going with me? I have to go do this by myself?
Oh, no. What?
But I went, and it was great fun. And I thought, this is super cool. And it ended up being one of the coolest presents. So I ended up doing 64 classes of improv. We did 8 shows. And then right before I graduated, one of the girls in the class, the younger ones, was like, you want to go do the stand-up comedy class at Mark Ridley's in Royal Oak, Michigan? I go, sure. And that's what started the comedy career. So wow. I've been doing it almost 3.5 years now. But yeah, it's kind of taken off and I love it.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Props to your boyfriend.
Yes.
Your forever boyfriend.
Right?
That took me aback too, because it's like, oh, you're not, I thought it was going to be like a couples thing. Was this like for your birthday or like a Christmas present, or did he just like out of the blue moon was like, hey, go do some improv classes?
I think it was Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, props to him that was a creative present. It wasn't a ring, but it was a creative present.
It started a new chapter in your life. That's awesome.
Yes. And I wouldn't look back. So I just made a little post on Facebook about that. I was like, open that door and take those chances and do those fun things, because you never know what's on the other side. Here I am.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah. So you started an improv. Are you still doing improv? Have you kind of drifted away from it?
I don't. I mean, the minute that I stepped out on stage to do my first class show for comedy, I was like, this is my jam. Not that I don't love improv, but there's something nice about controlling it all yourself and not having to rely on other people and So no, I haven't done another improv. I'm still friends with the people from, my so-called troupe, but no, it's all stand-up now.
What's the strangest thing that's happened during an improv scenario or an improv show?
Let's see. I mean, it's always the crazy things that people throw out. I mean, I guess when someone yells out tampon, you never know where that's going to go in a scene. Usually never good. But you try to be professional and you try to just,
Did you get people saying tampons a lot? Did you get that a lot?
But I mean, that was the craziest suggestion we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Nuts.
That's funny, though. Do you remember the rest of the scenario? Did it make sense for someone to shout tampon, or are they just trying to, I'm going to give them an almost impossible scenario or a scene
I mean, no, it was a
task?
scene where we had multiple suggestions, but, you do your best just to try and incorporate every single one of them in the scene. So it was incorporated. But once that scene got going, I was like, oh, gosh, where is this going to go? And it ended up being okay, but I wanted to take it down some more dark and dirty roads, but I did not.
Sometimes in comedy is like towing the line, because I've said that a lot. And sometimes towing the line means pulling back a little bit.
Yes.
Which is not really touched upon a lot, at least from other people that I've interviewed. Yes. They're always like, find the line, go to the line. And then sometimes it's like, I know where the line is.
Oh, yes.
I know I can go even farther, but I'm not, because that's too far from the line.
But that's how I knew I wanted to do the comedy, stand-up comedy, is that I always wanted to deliver the funniest line. And the instructors would be like, Pam, you can't do that because once you do that, the scene ends. And I'm like, but it's funny. Like, how can you not say it? So that's how I knew that this was more my jam.
Yeah. What was it like making that transition to stand-up? Did you have a hard time adjusting to
It was more emotional. Like, you bonded with those people that you were with for 64 classes, So I was super emotional when I finally said, you know what? I'm going to stick solely with comedy and I'm not going to do the improv anymore. I had to tell them all, look, I'm not going to do this. And I think every one of them understood, obviously. But for me, it was I just felt guilty about having to make a choice. But I'm glad I did.
It can be hard to make decisions like that, you know, and deciding where you're starting on this track and then you're like, oh, actually, maybe I want to go divert a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, that can be hard to do.
But I think I like tough decisions. I started doing comedy at the age of 50, and I also adopted 2 little girls at the age of 50.
Oh.
Yes.
Tell me about the adoption story. I want to hear that.
So we had tried forever ourselves. I mean, that's the first thing people say is, do you have any of your own? And it was like, no. So we said, look, there's got to be kids in the foster system. How about we take 2 boys under the age of 5? And they called us and they're like, we have 2 girls. And we were like, oh, well, okay, drop them off. And the rest is history. Got the littlest one at 10 months, and her sister had just turned 5.
Oh.
So yeah, my little one just turned 6 on Sunday, and her sister's 10. So yeah, that's the hardest thing with comedy, is probably continuing this career on its upswing and enjoying that, and still making sure that I can be at home to be the mom and be with them. Because if I didn't have them, I would travel a lot more and do a lot more. Mm-hmm. But it's all a fun ride, and it adds for fun stuff in comedy. Right?
Yeah. A lot of people have sets about their kids and raising children and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that just warms my heart. It really does. Then they were sisters too, so you got to keep them.
Yes.
The family got to stay together. Do you know if there was just the 2 of them, or did they have?
No, it was just the 2 of them. Both their parents are deceased, so yeah. And the littlest one, she only knows me. But it's funny, you ask her now, she'll tell me all the time. She's like, I'm going to be a comedian when I grow up. I'm like, oh, you might want to rethink that, love.
Why? You're doing it.
There's a part of me that's always like, everyone always comes up, they're like, they're so outgoing. I'm like, I don't know where they get that from. They're not afraid to pick up a microphone everywhere, which is great.
That's awesome.
Except for little kids when they tell jokes. Their jokes are like...
Yeah.
I could easily be a stand-up comedian for kids. All I'd have to say is poop, butt, fart, blah,
we all got to start somewhere, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I was 5, before I took piano lessons, I was banging on the keys on the piano before I learned how to actually
That's a good way to look at it, yes.
Yeah. Do you guys have any extracurriculars for them to keep them engaged and keep them active? Or you have a channel?
I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. I mean, just this month alone, I had them in soccer on Mondays, basketball on Tuesdays. They do Kids Strong on Wednesdays, cheer on Thursdays. Plus, the older one just made the school play. She's Elsa. And I didn't know. There's 3 Elsas. I'm like, okay, whatever. You're an Elsa. That's all that matters.
That's awesome.
Yes. So she's doing the play. She's also doing student council and choir. So I think like me, I'm always going 100 miles an hour, and now they are too. It's good for all of us.
Yeah, well, that sounds a lot like something that I would do as a kid. We weren't the sporty types, but I was doing music and stuff.
Yes.
Music and art. That was more my jam.
Yes. Well, they love to sing and dance too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Keeps us super busy.
How do you schedule out shows and like keep balance with the work and your family life?
I mean, there's times when I do turn down shows just because I think that I've been gone a little bit too much that month. But I'm also like, hey, keep living your life. You know, you'll make it work somehow. So I flew my mom in from Wisconsin, so she's helping out too while I can do some of these shows. So you just make it work. You rely on friends. You do whatever it takes so that you can keep living your dream and doing what you want to do. And this, in all reality, like, comedy kind of saves my life. Everything you don't get home from being this mom who's doing 8 million things all the time, you don't always get all the appreciation, but you go out to comedy and everyone's like, you're so funny and we love you, and that makes it all worthwhile. I go home with my balloon inflated, is what happens.
You're so cool, Pam. I want to let you know.
Stop
I think
it.
you're so
Stop
cool.
it. It's a cool story, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to keep being cool and spreading some cool humor.
You're always going to be cool, Pam. I don't think you will always be cool. You'll never not be cool, I think, in my opinion.
Thank you. Thanks.
I don't know what else to say. I'm just basking in how cool you are.
It's good.
What's the strangest thing that's happened when you've performing stand-up?
You know, I don't know about strange, but I mean, like, I just had, well, I was at a comedy club around here. What's funny is on occasion, you know, when a club will say, hey, everybody can stay for the next show. And then they do, and they've been drinking themselves silly. People that fall asleep in the front row, I'm always like, how can you do that?
What? And have people fall asleep
and I'm like,
at your
it's
show?
not me, but you know that they've had a long night or whatever. Maybe they're that mom that just needs to get home and get some sleep. Right?
Wow.
So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. They're falling asleep. And that's like prime viewing, front row.
Yes.
Oh, the lights are in your
face. And you toy with whether to make fun of them or not. And I did. I said, let's all sing her happy birthday. And she wakes up like, what is happening right now? Yeah, that was kind
When
of
I
crazy.
worked third shift, I had to wake some people up sometime. Maybe not necessarily wake them up, but just like, you know, knock on the door, be like, hey, how's everybody doing? Make sure everybody that's...
Yes. I also just did a private Christmas show, and the people that came had no idea there was comedy. And they started out telling me, like, we don't have a microphone. And I was like, well, what? So they went home and got their karaoke machine, which you can imagine how that went. So I think I was able to grab their attention for a full 5 minutes, and then it was like, they just wanted to drink and party. That was a crazy night. But I still got paid, so, you know, just started talking with everybody and made some fast, fun friends, so it ended up being a fun night.
They scheduled a comedian, but nobody knew it was a comedy show. Two comedians.
I felt more bad for the guy after me.
Because people were too drunk to listen.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They finally just went up and gave him the cut line across the neck, like, you can stop.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How did you not... I feel like that should be mentioned in, like, the marketing or something. Who scheduled you?
The lady who ran the party.
So the party
So she said, you know, maybe this wasn't the best idea. She's like, but I'll keep you in mind for all my realtor friends and parties. I was like, yeah, that might be a better idea.
Hey, I mean, you know,
Right?
that's a potential opportunity.
Yes.
At least she liked you. She liked you enough to offer it.
Oh, yeah.
Future stuff.
Yeah.
That's so... Wow. That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm. And they tell you all the things not to do. When you take some of the advanced comedy classes, they're like, do not perform at parties when they're bringing out food. They tell you all the do nots. Well, I'm still doing everything. I need these experiences and stories for myself.
You need other material, and
Yes.
and you can practice on. It's good to, at least I feel like, sometimes open mics, depending on where we go, and there are certain places where we go that it's not like a comedy club. It's like a coffee shop or a bar or something. You're able to cut your teeth on those kinds of audiences who aren't
Yes.
necessarily there for comedy. So you can learn how to perform through people who are like talking over you, or they're running around, or they're not really
Yes.
listening. But the show must go on.
Yes, for sure.
You're so cool, Pam. I love talking to you. I like talking to you. I don't know what else to say. Do you want to ask me a weird question? Try to give me a hypothetical.
What's been your favorite podcast thus far?
Podcast episode that I've recorded?
Yes.
Oh,
Did you have another cool Pam?
no. You were the first and only cool Pam. I think this is my favorite episode, Pam.
Yes.
I think this one is. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, that's good. Everyone should tune into these.
Yes, you should. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to promote stuff. I don't know what else to say. Do you have another question for me? Do you want to interview me?
I mean, hey, let's think here. Who's your least favorite comedian?
My least favorite?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I have a least favorite. I've been doing stand-up in a while. I'm not necessarily, like, consuming it as, like, a passive viewer. I'm kind of studying people, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of, like, looking through and, like, I'm observing and I'm just kind of, like, analyzing people's jokes. Okay, oh, they went this way or they went that way.
Yes.
Now, there are certain topics that they can pull off. They did a great job with it. I don't know if that would necessarily be good
Your
for
style,
me. I don't know if I could pull it off.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
everybody that I've come up to and I've seen here at Krackpots, and we have the open mics on Thursdays, so they get to try new stuff too, and I get to watch people come up with their jokes and like progress and like form, their sets. So yeah, that's the coolest thing. I don't really have
That's
a
the
least
same
favorite.
for me. To be honest, people always ask me, who's your favorite? Who's your worst favorite? I go, I don't have one, because at this stage of the game, I'm learning and absorbing from everyone and everyone I see. And you're right, some joke styles might not be mine, but you still appreciate their style and what they're doing, and it works for them. So you can still take a little bit of good from everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish people could see our hand gestures and dances.
They can watch
over
us
here.
like smiling and nodding along.
Whoop, whoop.
That happens a lot, actually, if I'm being honest.
I love
There's
it.
people nodding along, and then the chair you're sitting in, sometimes will move around, and that chair gets kind of squeaky.
Yes.
So people get really animated, and they squeak in the chair. And I cut it out as much as I can, but that doesn't mean that there's no squeaking. There's always going to be a little bit of squeaks, but I do my best to cut it. Yeah.
Good
That's
stuff.
awesome. All right, Pam. Well, do you have anything that you want to plug before I do my outro?
No, I mean, I think by the time this goes out, it'll be over and done with, but I'm going to be doing 2 shows in Indiana next week, so I'm super excited about that. But I am also going to be taking part in the World Series of Comedy this year.
Exciting!
So
Exciting!
I did it last year and met so many amazing people and was able to perform at some amazing places. Here is one of them at Krackpots.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody should just keep supporting live comedy because we appreciate you.
Heck yeah. Do you have a website or any social medias that people can find and follow?
Yeah. Instagram is at Pam Krugman, and I've got the website at Pam Krugman, so you can follow me anywhere.
Anywhere, anytime. Just
Yes.
typing Pam Krugman and
Yes.
she'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, heck yeah, Pam. But it's about time to wrap up this episode. I'm going to shake your hand if that's cool.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. You can't see it because it's just audio, but we're shaking hands. It's happening.
And it's a good handshake.
Heck yeah, I get that a lot. So if you guys watched through this whole episode and you like what you heard, this is pre-recorded, so you won't see us performing live tonight. However, we have plenty of live shows that you can come see, and you can get comedy in real time. You don't have to sit at your computer and just like wait and listen to the edited version. Come to a live show.
Do it.
Yes, you can check out our schedule at crackpotscomedy.com. See what strikes your fancy. If you come to a Friday or Saturday show, tell them Rebecca sent you and you will get $5 off your check. And while you are here at Krackpots Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio, check out Dinda Mo's Unique Chocolates. She's got her own little kiosk right at the front of the club, and you can also order Pigs in Mud. That's from Dinda Mo's Unique Chocolates. It's a little brownie shaped like a piggy, and it's coated in chocolate, and then it's covered in chocolate syrup. It's so good, you guys. You can only get it here at Krackpots. So come in for a live show and order it. It's so good. You will not be disappointed, I promise. And something that we touched on a little bit at the beginning of this episode was this podcast is recorded right above Krackpots Comedy Club. This is an old radio studio. We're trying to revive it, bring it back to life. Chris fixed the light, which is awesome because now we're not sitting in darkness anymore. I don't have to pull out my phone as a flashlight so we can see what the heck is going on.
Yes.
So we've got one room dedicated to the podcast, but there are a couple of other rooms that aren't really being used right now. So if you guys need to record a podcast, or maybe you want a setting for a short film, we had a short film come in not too long ago, you can reach out to nfpbookings@gmail.com and get more information on that. So yeah, this has been Krackpots We Met Downstairs. I'm Rebecca Mercoula. Pam Krugman was my guest. Come back next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye!
Namaste.